The market capitalization of the coin is used to summarize all that is taught in this video. Additionally, I would ask that you support my channel by liking it and subscribing to it so that you can stay up to date on future XRP news, as well as other cryptocurrency news in general. Have a look at this for a moment. A Ripple, the conclusion of a legal struggle with the Securities and Exchange Commission has been announced by Brad Garlinghouse, the Chief Executive Officer of Ripple. Brad Garlinghouse has claimed that the lengthy legal struggle that the business has been engaged in with the SEC is about to come to an end. Recently, he gave an interview in which he made a veiled allusion to the possibility that Ripple and the SEC will eventually resolve their issue during the private meeting that will take place on July 25th. This meeting is scheduled to take place. Over the course of several years, Ripple and the SEC have been at odds with the question of whether or not XRP, the digital asset that Ripple employs, is deemed a security. It was recently determined by a judge that Brad's argument that XRP is not a security is correct. This is something that Brad has maintained throughout his whole career. The individual who made the statement was the one who stated that the topic should never have been allowed to become politicized, the majority of the time. The approach that Joe Biden has taken regarding cryptocurrency has been met with condemnation from Brad. A remark that I made 5 years ago claimed that the regulations were not clear. I stated that they were unclear, in spite of the fact that the Securities and Exchange Commission has been pursuing legal action against him for the past 5 years. There is still no clarification. In addition, he claimed that Gary Gensler, the head of the Securities and Exchange Commission, would be the one to shoulder the responsibility. According to Gensler, everything is a digital security. This is the assumption that he holds. He persists in his fight, despite the fact that the judges have repeatedly disqualified him from the competition. When Brad was asked about his discussions with the administration of Vice President Joe Biden, he cited a recent crypto roundtable that took place in Washington, District of Columbia. The people who attended the roundtable included both Democrats and Republicans. According to him, it was heartening to see that they were willing to listen to the industry they were working in. The conclusion of the legal battle that the company had been engaged in with the SEC. He went on to remark that the talk was a start in the right direction, despite the fact that Democrats have been slower than Republicans in their adoption of Bitcoin. He wrote this in his capacity as the chairman of the Securities and Exchange Commission, the Mount Gary Gensler Speaks, Mia Atlas. Brad also made a comment about the fact that today is the first anniversary of the day that XRP was officially deemed to be a non-security. He observed that this day commemorates the anniversary of the day. According to his remarks, that was a significant event for the sector. We are unable to continue to court over each and every token, despite the fact that this remains the case. Clearly defined regulations are what we require. Additionally, Brad touched on the subject of international crypto regulation, stating that a number of countries have built regulatory frameworks for cryptocurrencies. The fact that the United States of America is unable to accomplish the same thing is absolutely disappointing. According to his remarks, it has been more than 3 years and more than $150 million. In the courtroom, we have fought. Despite the fact that other countries are making headway, we are unable to improve our situation because of a number of legal concerns. One of the latest legislative actions that he referenced in his statement was the FIT-21 Act, which has been approved by the House of Representatives and is currently being evaluated by the Senate. He used this act as an example. The trend is occurring on both sides of the aisle, according to Brad's statement. One more thing that he talked about was the support that J.D. Vance has showed for Bitcoin during the conversation. In addition to that, he explained that Vance had proposed legislation that the Senate might take into consideration. On the other hand, he stated that in regard to Gensler, there has been a disagreement between Gensler and crypto, which describes the office that is in charge of controlling the money. A number of other sectors within the banking industry have been opposed to cryptocurrency. We are not being helped by this at all. The following is a comment that Brad made regarding the benefits that come with having clear regulatory frameworks. Due to the fact that we had well-defined legislation in place throughout the late 1990s, the internet blossomed in the United States. Similarly, in the absence of assurance, we require the same thing with regard to cryptography. He is of the opinion that business people in the capital will most likely continue to go to other countries. The vast majority of individuals who are employed in the Bitcoin sector are concerned about following the rules. It has been requested by us that the rules be made more clear. Employing additional attorneys to take on additional cases is not the solution to the problem that needs to be addressed. On the subject of Brad's present connection with the CC, a question was made to him specifically concerning the matter of whether or not there are any ongoing settlement negotiations. I am unable to speak on that particular topic, he responded in response to my question. Nevertheless, we anticipate a resolution in the very near future. Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple, is optimistic that his business will soon be able to put an end to the years-long dispute it has been engaged in with the Securities and Exchange Commissions. There is a lot of anticipation that the company will announce a settlement after a meeting with the SEC that will take place behind closed doors the following week. This indicates that both parties may have arrived at a position where it is possible to compromise and reach a settlement. It is possible that Ripple may make the announcement of the settlement after a meeting with the SEC that is planned to take place behind closed doors. This meeting is regarded to be crucial in determining the fate of the action. The price movement of XRP was restrained by the absence of bull run and the presence of legal uncertainty. Earlier, CNF reported that the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) had postponed its meeting for July 25th, which bolstered confidence for a resolution to the Ripple vs. SEC lawsuit. The anticipated settlement announcement is expected to have a significant impact on the price of XRP on the market. One of the things that has been preventing the price of XRP from increasing is the legal uncertainty that surrounds it. Another factor is that it was not included in the bull run held in 2021. A number of regulatory bodies and industry analysts are also keeping a careful eye on the outcome of the litigation, which may have an effect on the regulatory approaches that will be taken in the future regarding cryptocurrencies. XRP's performance has been improved as a result of the upcoming settlement, which has caused it to break through a number of local resistance levels and has caused some analysts to expect additional higher movement based on technical analysis. XRP is presently selling at approximately $5,901, representing a 10% increase over the course of the past 7 days, exceeding the $0.60 threshold for a limited period of time before reverting back to its current setting. Additionally, Ripple's chief executive officer, Brad Garlinghouse, has already stated that he is confident in the company's capacity to compete with SWIFT and acquire a position of leadership in the global payments industry. Ripple's standing in the cryptocurrency market may be strengthened. This ongoing confidence, in conjunction with the anticipated conclusion of the legal proceedings, may be the cause. The comments made by Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse, which suggested that the company's protracted legal battle with the United States Securities and Exchange Commission sees possibly getting closer to a settlement, have been the driving force behind the significant increase in the price of XRP that has occurred over the course of the various days that have passed since yesterday. During a recent interview with Bloomberg, Garlinghouse declined to comment on the question of whether or not Ripple was currently involved in settlement negotiations with the SEC. This was one of the questions that was the subject of the interview. Despite this, he expressed optimism that the legal obstacles that were still outstanding will be resolved in a very short amount of time. In a recent post that was released to honor the first anniversary of the victory ruling that XRP won from the United States court, the chief legal officer of Ripple stated a view that was quite similar to this one. Throughout the course of the conversation, Alderati reiterated that the Securities and Exchange Commission (SA) will not fight the decision of the court, which is that XRP does not constitute a security. It is interesting to note that the quantity of user activity on the XRP edge has increased, which aligns with the positive feelings that have been expressed. Thursday was the day that both the number of active addresses and the number of new addresses that were created simultaneously reached their highest levels in a single day. More specifically, the update revealed that 1,721 new XRP wallets were created on Thursday, July 18th, marking the highest number of wallets produced since March 30th. This was the highest number of wallets produced since March 30th. In addition, the investigation revealed that on the same day, 47,363 distinct addresses communicated with one another on the XRP network.